Hey there, I'm Terry Michael, running for school board here in Birmingham in District 2. Uh, Now, with the elections going on, a lot of people are talking about how they do not support charter schools. I don't think that's quite true. I think they're playing with words. I'm not going to call anybody out, but I do think that they are kind of manipulating the public because the public generally, when they think of charter schools, they think of something like what they want to do at Rising Star. Um, that is called a charter school. It looks something like this. What we have with a charter school um, is the school, which is overseen by appointed board. The appointed board can, if they want to, hire a management company to oversee all their finances, the payroll, their compliance reports, and things like that. But they only answer to the appointed board. They don't answer to the public. They answer to the appointed board, and they're a private company. This is a nonprofit. The charter school, the people holding the charter, the appointed board, is a nonprofit, but they can hire a for-profit company to manage the money. So this appointed board will then answer, in our case in Birmingham, because we are an authorizer, they're going to answer to Birmingham's elected board. Okay, and then the elected board is overseen, of course, by the Charter School Commission because we got to make sure that they are good authorizers, right? So then that kind of leaves us in a little bit of limbo with the state because charter schools don't have to answer any state law except for assessments, that's testing, the ACT Aspire, which is now the Scantron, also known as Global Scholars. It's a mess. But at any rate, so they don't have to answer to any state laws except for assessments. So that is what a charter school is. Now, one thing is with the money in a charter school, this is why I don't say public charter school, because the money that goes into it, the tax dollars that go into a charter school, it then goes to that management company, which is what? Privately owned. A privately owned company does not have to show its books to the public. So we do not have the right to see the books that these people carry. Now, the books that they give to them, the overviews that they give to them, we can see, but we would have to sue through the government to see their books. So that's why I do not call this a public charter school, because when you can't see how our tax dollars are being spent, then that doesn't sound very public to me. Okay, let's move on. So, but we don't have any charter schools opened in Birmingham. What we do have, of course, is our public schools. Public school, we have a school. The schools answer to the elected board, which then answers to the state. That's how that works. Very simple. Then, this is another thing that we have in Birmingham. This is the Woodlawn Innovation Network. Now, this came about because of an innovation waiver that some people, I don't know, wrote while we were under state takeover in 2012. I highly suspect Dr. Bice had a big hand in writing that waiver. That's just me. But they wrote this waiver creating, actually, it created the Woodlawn Network. But the one thing a lot of people don't know is that the innovation waiver is a district-wide waiver. So even though they did it to the feeder pattern from Putnam up to Woodlawn, they could do it throughout the district. Every other feeder pattern they could be turning into something, right? With just a vote on the board. Hey, let's do it over here. Everybody say aye, no, whatever. So with the Woodlawn Network, we have the school, which answers to the elected board, which then answers to the state. Very similar to this, right? So now, but also we have all these folks involved: the Woodlawn Foundation, Goodrich Foundation, A+ Education Partnership, of course, Birmingham City Schools involved, and other organizations. Everybody, blah, 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 involved there. But you know who hearts them? Who really hearts all this? The Birmingham Business Alliance. They love Woodlawn, right? So that's what Woodlawn looks like. Still a public school. We can still see all the money. No other boards or anything involved. But this is where you're going to be hearing a lot of people who don't like charter schools saying, but I love Woodlawn, but it's just not quite right. It's not successful. It's been here 3 years, 4 years, and it's just not showing the results we want. So we need to tweak it. Okay, let's tweak this and let's hire a management company. It needs a management company in order to keep all of these people together because it's just getting too crazy. So let's hire a management company. Now, when you have a management company, of course, you're going to have some sort of board, right? Because they'll have a president, they'll have a CFO, they'll have all those kind of things for the management company. So they're going to have their own board, appointed board. The appointed board, well, they'll answer to Birmingham City Schools elected board, right? And then what they're not going to tell you is that then they're going to be answering to the Charter School Commission. Why? Because what we just created is a charter school. See how similar it is? It's a charter school. What they are talking about, what they're going to be talking about, tweaking the Woodlawn initiative by getting a management company, which will turn this into a conversion charter school. This is a startup. This is a conversion. And then they're going to be saying, so you know what? Let's do this. Let's put this management company over here in this feeder pattern. Let's do this one over here. And they're going to turn the whole district into a conversion charter school. It is still a charter school. They're not going to tell you that. Not in so many words. They're just going to talk about hiring a management company in order to keep everything more efficient and cost effective. And also, let's keep the big bad state out. And so if you want the state out, then let's do it this way because you know what? Then we won't have to answer to the state, but they're still not going to tell you it's because it's a charter school. So I just wanted to do this to explain to everybody that what they're going to be saying. It's not good enough to ask them, are you for or against charter schools? They're going to say no because they think this is the only kind of charter school the public thinks about, the startup charter schools. Now you know about the conversion charter schools. So what we need to ask the people running for office is, are you for conversion schools? Or if you're afraid that they're not going to understand what you're talking about, then just say, do you foresee hiring management companies to oversee any of our school feeder patterns? You got to get specific. Ask them about management companies. Ask them about the feeder patterns. Ask them how they feel about Woodlawn. I think a lot of this is going to start becoming clear, but we have to know the right answers to ask them. So is it clear as mud? I hope I explained it okay. You might need to stop this and rewind it and play it again. But if you have any questions, you can hit me up, liketerry@gmail.com. And I hope that everybody gets out and votes on August 22nd. This is a vital election, more so than ever, because if we get the wrong people on the school board, if the wrong people have control of the school board, our whole district, I think, my opinion, is that it's going to be a conversion district. Now, one thing I didn't talk about was the $380 million budget. We have about a $380 million budget in Birmingham City Schools. Here, the elected board oversees it. Here, the elected board oversees it. Here, a startup school is only an individual school, so they will get their money per child that they will oversee themselves. So they don't have access to our whole budget, only to the part they deserve. They're entitled to because they have X amount of students in the building, okay? But a conversion, I can't believe I almost forgot this. If they turn our whole district into a conversion charter school district, they will have control of that whole $380 million. And that, my friends, is why the Birmingham Business Alliance loves them. And I know the Birmingham Business Alliance is going to love the conversions too, because the Birmingham Business Alliance is about business and it is about money. Our children are not dollar signs, okay? Public education is here to educate the children, not to make money for these guys. So anyway, hit me up if you have any questions. You want me to come out and talk to your organization. electterry.com is my website, and electterry@gmail.com. And I hope you go out and vote on August 22nd. And if you're in District 2, please vote for me, Terry Michael, for school board. Thank you.